Greetings, myself Dr. P. Shivkumar Singh. Let us see about these chili diseases. Particularly, we are discussing the chili diseases, and mainly we are focusing on chili dieback disease. So, before going to this chili, how much it is important in the market level and in the Indian food systems, let us see. It is one of the important crop which is growing in value of fruit, in particular spices and condiment in Indian tradition and market and food systems. And it is also plays an important role in Indian diet, and it may be used in dry and raw material in India. And it is grown extensively in some of many states of Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Maharashtra states. Particularly in this area, 0.7 million hectares are cultivating this crop, and it's grown as a rainfall crop in most of the part of the states. And there are several varieties of chili grown in India and other non-anglement areas, and large sized fruits also cultivating particular this aspect. So before going to this chili dieback disease, I want to discuss about another two common diseases which are going to found in the chili. Means here dumping of disease of chili. This disease caused by Pythium aphiniodermatum. Pythium aphiniodermatum. This is also one of the severe disease in the nursery and of this chili disease. Whereas another disease is leaf spots of chili. This is also one of the fungal disease. And this fungi causing leaf spot disease like Cercospora capsi and Alternaria solani. Whereas another common disease is anthracnose of chili or fruit rot disease, and this is ultimately causes the chili dieback of the symptom. This is a very much severe disease of chili, also found in India, where it can also found particularly in southern states in severe condition. The same disease also reported from several other countries. So this chili, as we know, Capsicum annum, and it's a crop also been observed in different types of severe disease brought out by caused by the anthracnose fungus. Polytrotrichum capsi is one of the pathogens for this chili dieback disease. So here, this is considered as one of the severe disease, and this can also damages in the continuous to the disease and loss of the teeth. Let us see the symptoms. The disease symptoms, when we are concentrating here, these symptoms appears mostly in the ripened fruits, and the disease is also called ripe fruit disease. And this can attack commences from the growing point of the flower bud. That is the main origin of the disease, and the tops of the affected branches also found here. And here we can see the spots, whatever found on circular sunken, and with the black margin, the sunken spots are going to covered with the pinkish mass of the fungal spores also found. This disease, the advanced spots also spread, and concentric marking with the dark frictions also found. This can also represent the fungal acerulae which were growing in particular areas. The spores, whatever with the many spots, are going to be drop off permanently from the tree, from this particular host plant, and this can also resulting into heavy loss in. The fungus may also attack fruit style, and this can also spread to the stem, and ultimately the total plant is going to be die. So that is why the name has given dieback symptom, dieback disease of the chili. So spreading downwards from the fruit to stem to downward disease symptoms also found here. This can also infect the runoff around the leaf. As the disease progresses, whatever we found, the infected part of the stem takes on the animal white color and is sharply demarked from the healthy green dieback by the line running along whitened areas. The white of the diseased portion is punctured by scattered black viscera and minute evolution, also called acerule of the pathogen. And the dieback usually appears after the rain has stopped. There is a prolonged depositions of dew on the plants. Partially affected plants bear fruits which were few and low quality of fruits also from here. Mainly here we can also observe the causal organism of this disease. When we are concentrating on the causal organism, the disease is Colletotrichum capsi. Whereas this Colletotrichum capsi belongs to the subkingdom Deuteromycotina order Melanocoloniales, family Melanocoloniaceae. So this fungus is localized on skin of infected fruits. Particularly, this can also produce acerule. The acerule are characterized by the hymeneal layers with short hyaline conidiophores also bearing the hyphene. Mainly here, some of conidias are producing, like such a conidias in needle-like setae also found. This conidia, when we are measuring 11 to 24 into 4 to 5.5 micron diameter. This also containing a centrally placed oil globule is also an important factor for the identification of this conidia. They are going to germinate and this can also produce a thin hyaline germ tube which is containing a tip, particularly Apresuria. And this mycelium also producing as a septate in the nature, and this can also spread popularly in the intercellular areas. The conidias also germinate in water within 4 hours when it is going to contact with the water from their germ tube is going to produce. The optimum temperature for the producing of this hyaline is 24 degrees centigrade. And here we can see about 92% of relative humidity is very much favorable for this germinating of these conidias. The disease is very much closely dependent on heavy of prolonged dew deposits after the rain season, particularly. When we are going to observe this disease cycle, the fungus is very much surviving in the field, in the plant debris, particularly 2% spreading of takes place by wind-borne or conidias. And when we are concentrating of this particular externally seed-borne fungi, and secondary spread also found by airborne inoculum. The disease also spread rapidly by wind-blown raining sometimes happening. During this particular rainy season, it is also popularly spreads. The fungus may not survive long inside, that is one of the advantage, but this may also survive on the dead peaks of the plants. So that is why we have to take care whatever the dead debris of the crop should be avoided. So that should containing the mycelium for long. So this conidia, whatever are going to be capable in the disease mycelium, that is considered as a disease fruits. These are viable particularly from July to May. For the next year, means 1 year, this debris containing that mycelium properties. And this conidial germination also going to be reduced from 96 to 96% and 30 to 35% end of this 0 month. The mycelium also remain viable in the disease in the tissues of the whole fruits kept under different conditions. The seeds from the diseased fruits also carrying the infection. So disease management or controlling measures, seeds for sowing should be taken from the healthy of the spotted fruits, and spraying the crop with Paragnos 2% and the spray of Zinab 0.25% is very much effective for particularly dieback of fruit rot. A sprays of Mancozeb 0.25% for 15 days of interval is very much effective. Resistant varieties like Bengal green, Lorai, perennial H1, H4, H6 are suggestible for growing from this particular disease control. Thank you very much for listening to my